What is true sovereignty? And who are the Archons? So from a higher perspective, we agreed to come into this Earth School with a group of beings that were playing the role of the dark side, of opposing human consciousness and evolution, of trying to keep us from realizing our own power and sovereignty, to use the external to manipulate us into agreeing to give our power away and consenting by default and hijacking our thoughts and our emotions and our creative abilities to create their timeline, which is a lower timeline that's not in humanity's best interests. Because they can't create, they can only use our energy to create by tricking us out of who we really are. And you can see this happening in the world today with the high level of manipulation. There's a bee right here. Bee flying around me right now. So basically, hey, don't eat it and piss it off, Callie. So basically, these beings, they feed on loosh, and you probably heard this term before. They feed on pain and suffering and confusion energy and fight and flight energy. And they work subtly through the thought forms, through our unhealed wounds and traumas and emotions and past experiences. Whatever tear in the field, whatever kink in the armor is a way in for them, right? And so if they keep us in these unbalanced emotional states, it keeps our energetic field all scattered, which allows them to come harvest our... Hey, do not eat that fucking thing and piss it off, dude. Callie. So, what this does, it also highlights what's unhealed and what needs to be looked at, right? And so it's a balancing act. It's like, where we put our focus is what we feed. And this is huge, okay? Because it comes down to, if we're not in control of our mind, we're being mind controlled by something else. Something else is in control of our mind and our thoughts and our emotions and so on and so on. But that being said, like, we also have to take a look at all the tares in the field and address them and trace them back to their root. And so how can we do this correctly without being harvested? Well, you've got to be in a state where you're out of the confusion energy, where you're out of the fight and flight energy. You have to be, oh shit, he's landing on my leg, dude. Okay, there's a bee on me right now. Hey, dude, don't fucking bite him, Callie. Oh, shit. She's gonna get me stung, dude. So I was saying, it's a process. Like, first we have to break contracts with all negative entities and energies, and this is something that needs to be redone constantly because they think that they have contract to interfere in our lives by default, right? So it's not like we agreed to something. It's more of the lines along the lines like, well, he didn't say no, or he didn't catch this trick that we played on him, so therefore we're going to like try to interfere in his life. And so you have to like establish your sovereignty and break contracts, okay? And then getting into a state of oneness where you're completely at peace, where you're in this higher state of awareness, where everything makes perfect sense, you know, where you realize that you're everything and everything is interconnected, in this state of unity consciousness and Sat Chit Ananda, basically. Okay, and then we get out of the fight and flight response. We get out of the reptilian brainstem. And then we can see clear. And then we can become the observer of our thoughts and our emotions without attaching to them, and become the observer of ourself, observing ourself, observe ourself. So like back it up in the levels of awareness. And then we're outside of the emotional body, okay? And then we can view in without being pulled off our center to whatever needs to be addressed. And then we can take a look at this. Okay, and if it's a situation that was caused by another person, viewing things from a different perspective, seeing things from their perspective, generally activates compassion, right? And then it starts to make sense. And then we can forgive and move into unconditional love and find the lesson that was there, okay? And how it also plays into to karma, because this is another thing that's real. You know, oh, this bee is landing on me again. Okay, all right, buddy. Okay, but what if it was a situation that you're trying to heal that was caused from a traumatic event that didn't have to do with another person? So it was just like a random event of the universe. Well, now karma is factored into this because nothing is random. So in a higher perspective, it all makes sense. And if you can get clear to get that information to come through, then you can heal the charge on it and heal the fractured consciousness that's stuck in time. And so once we move outside of karma and into dharma, we become non-dual. We're no longer in this karmic loop. Okay. And this is also a state of sovereignty, because when we're in our true sovereign power, we're freed up from the external. It's to where the focus is turned inward completely, 100%. to where the external, to where the past, to where the future, anything of that nature has zero weight upon our consciousness, to where we can completely turn inward and know that we're the creator of our reality. We take our power back in that process. And karma becomes no longer a thing because we've cleared it and moved into dharma. And so this is true sovereignty. It's manifest destiny as well. Now I'd like to speak on seeing things from multiple perspectives because they all are valid. Like from a higher perspective, everything's all one and everything's all love, right? But down here, it's game on. And so we have to play our role, but not be playing the game, so to speak, to where we're only seeing things from this lower perspective. Because of the situation of the world, one of the first emotions that comes through in an awakened being is righteous anger to make the course corrections and to literally save humanity, right? But coming from a place of anger, without that being transmuted and alchemized into drive, and also holding the awareness of unity consciousness simultaneously, if we're just in a state of anger, then we're in polarity, okay? And so if we can have both perspectives simultaneously, we can course correct with a higher perspective. So because the Archons are intelligent, they will structure their game and their attacks to the level of consciousness that a person is at. You know, first they play on the wounds and the thought forms and the emotions. And they also target divine unions. This is another area of heavy targeting. Because they want to get to the heart, right? And then when a person has the heart activated in a higher level of awareness and unity consciousness, without solid boundaries, they tend to play this game where the attack is structured on using love against us, to where we don't have solid boundaries and let the darkness into our temple, so to speak. Let the cancer cells into our temple. And so we have to have solid boundaries of what is in alignment and what is reversals, while still holding compassion. We have to keep our temple pure. And this goes to the people we keep around us as well. You know, who is in our inner circle, what type of energies we keep around us. And so the high level attacks, they use love against us. And then we come back to, where is our awareness? Where is our focus? Because that's what we are feeding. So there comes a time when it doesn't serve you anymore to be replaying old shit. Because we create our reality. And what do we want to be creating? What do we want to be feeding? So manifest destiny is where this is all headed. This thing just likes my shoe.